A reading from the book of the prophet Amos. Hear this word, O children of Israel, that the Lord pronounces over you, over the whole family that I brought up from the land of Egypt. You alone have I favored more than all families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your crimes. Do two walk together unless they have agreed? Does a lion roar in the forest when it has no prey? Does a young lion cry out from its den unless it has seized something? Is a bird brought to earth by a snare when there is no lure for it? Does a snare spring up from the ground without catching anything? If the trumpet sounds in a city, will the people not be frightened? If evil falls a city, has not the Lord caused it? Indeed, the Lord does nothing without revealing his plan to his servants, the prophets. The lion roars, who will not be afraid? The Lord speaks, who will not prophesy? I brought upon you such upheaval as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. You were like a brand plucked from the fire. Yet you returned not to me, says the Lord. So now I will deal with you in my own way, O Israel. And since I will deal thus with you, prepare to meet your God, O Israel. The word of the Lord. Today's responsorial is, lead me in your justice, O Lord. At dawn I bring my plea expectantly before you. For you, O God, delight not in wickedness. No evil man remains with you. The arrogant may not stand in your sight. Lead me in your justice, Lord. You hate all evildoers. You destroy all who speak falsehood. The bloodthirsty and the deceitful, the Lord abhors. Lead me in your justice, Lord. But I became of your abundant mercy, will enter your house. I will worship at your holy temple in fear of you, O Lord. Lead me in your justice, Lord.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. As Jesus got into the boat, his disciples followed him. Suddenly, a violent storm came up on the sea, so that the boat was being swamped by waves. But he was asleep. They came and woke him, saying, "Lord, save us, we are perishing." He said to them, "Why are you terrified, O you of little faith?" Then he got up, rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was great calm. The men were amazed and said, "What sort of man is this, whom even the winds and the sea obey?" The Gospel of the Lord. Just to briefly take a look at this beautiful story that we're so familiar with in today's gospel of Jesus and the apostles in the boat, and the big storm arises. Well, first, a couple of things. One, Jesus is in the boat with the apostles. That's number one. He's there. He's with them. The boat, in many ways, symbolizes their life's journey. You know, they get in the boat and they keep going. It's life's journey. It symbolizes that. And they've already decided that Jesus is going to be with them in their life's journey. They invited him into their boat, into their life, and he is there, and they know it. Then suddenly, as you heard, the big storm arises. What do? They panic. They panic. And finally remember, wait a minute, Jesus is here. He might be sleeping, but he's here. So wake them up, wake them up. So they wake them up. And Jesus rebukes them. He basically says to them, why are you terrified, you of little faith? No, so he's not rebuking them for waking him up, for disturbing him. No, it's more like, why didn't you come to me in the first place right away? Why did you get terrified? Why did you start panicking? I'm right here. I'm right here. Come to me right away. It seems that he was teaching them that at that moment. You don't have to panic. And when that big storm comes up, I'm right here with you. Now, isn't that also the lesson for us, the rest of us human beings? How often do we, when the storm arises up in our life and we're in our boat going along merrily and suddenly a storm comes up in our lives, what do? How do we react? We know that Jesus is right there. He's right there. He wants us to turn to him immediately. Most of us don't. Most of us wait a while. Maybe we can handle it. Maybe we can take care of it. Maybe we could calm the storm. Or just don't even remember that Jesus is with us. And so we do all kinds of things and we panic and get upset and natural. But I think what Jesus is saying, that's you don't have to do that. Try to get used to me being with you. Remembering right away, I'm right here with you. And yeah, the storm might still rage along all the way for a long time, but you're not going to be alone anymore. I'll be with you to bring you things that nobody else can bring you. You can't even bring yourself. Like the peace that I can give, like the direction I can give, like the hope I can give, like the love I can give. That I am with you and comfort you and encourage you and strengthen you through the storm. Come to me, he always says, and I will give you rest. That's, I think, Jesus is trying to teach us all today. Let's go to him right away. So today, as we go through our day in our boat, let's be conscious many times today. Whenever you try to think of it more often today, that Jesus is right there when you're going through your day today. And do that tomorrow too. Because the more we do that, the more we're going to go to him when that storm comes up in our lives. We'll go to him right away. Jesus, you're here. I'm so used to you being here. I know you're here. So today, let's practice that. It's a thing we need to practice. Be more conscious during our whole day today and tomorrow and the next day. So we're ready to look to him when that storm comes in our lives.